Welcome back to my series on the top co-parenting mistakes. And today I'm going to talk about a real pain point for co-parents, the handoff. When your child moves from one house to the other, we call it a parenting time transition. That can be a total minefield. And that's because how you act during those exchanges can either make your child feel safe and secure or like they're a pawn in a chess match. I'm Dr. Greg Kovacs, and today I'm talking about what not to do unless you want to see your kid in therapy pretty quick, and what you should be doing to help your child transition from one home to the other. Let's start with the bad stuff. Seriously, don't do any of this. It'll crank up your child's stress and anxiety and bring out that dreaded loyalty conflict that I've talked about so many times in this series. So first, maintain your own self-respect. Don't yell or glare or make passive-aggressive huffs or hushed, angry whispers. Be the bigger person and keep all of that locked inside. Kids are sponges, and they soak up all of that tension and negativity, but they can start to feel like they're caught in the middle. Or even worse, they can assume that all that negative emotion flying around is somehow their fault, and that's a burden that you don't want your child to carry. Second, your kids aren't carrier pigeons. Don't ever make your child a messenger between you and your co-parent. When you ask them to relay a message between the two of you, it's a really cheap move. It's a huge burden on kids. It puts them right in the middle of adult drama that they don't know how to handle. You know, they're not little therapists and they're not mediators, and that will absolutely tank their trust in you if you impose it upon them. Number 3, trash talking. Avoid with everything you've got trash talking your co-parent, especially when your kids are listening, but even when they're not, because they tend to hear everything. When you insult or denigrate the other parent, you're basically insulting your child, and kids do know this. They recognize that they're like literally a product of both of you. Plus, you're forcing them into an impossible situation where they feel like they have to choose which parent they're going to support or be loyal to. And you don't want your child to have to choose which parent they love more, and that's really what it equates to. Remember, denigrating your co-parent in front of the kids can seriously mess with their self-esteem, their sense of self-worth, and their identity. It's something to avoid, again, with everything you've got. Number 4, the guilt trip express. When these kids are getting ready to transition over to their other parent, don't lay it on thick with the "I'll miss you so much," or "I can't wait to see you when you get home," or "Are you sure you want to go?" or any of that routine. Honestly, it's just manipulative behavior. It's like you're hijacking your child's emotions, not letting them experience the emotions that they're really feeling. It can also make your kid feel guilty for wanting to spend time with the other parent, right? And it makes them responsible for your happiness. I've talked about that before too. You don't want them responsible for your happiness. Just they come home, it makes you happy. That's too much of a burden for your kids to bear. Number 5, compose yourself. When you're a hot mess, when you show up late and forget their backpack or the homework is left on the table at home, it just makes everything that much harder. It stresses everybody out, and it makes your child feel like a problem to be solved, instead of a child who belongs in those two homes, peacefully transitioning back and forth. Number 6, don't go into detective mode when your kids get back in the car after a visit with their other parent. So don't start hitting them with, "What did you do over there?" or "Was your dad's girlfriend there?" or "What time did you go to bed?" or "What did you eat for dinner?" Kids know what you're up to when you're not motivated purely by their own interest, right, with your child's best interest. And if you're prying for information to use against your child's other parent, it can make your child sort of feel like they're betraying the other parent, like you're putting your kids in a position where they have to betray somebody, and your kids will resent you for that. It's going to backfire. The other reason it backfires is because it teaches kids to be secretive about their time with the other parent. And when kids act sketchy, what do we parents do? We feel like they're hiding something, right? And that will quickly increase your anxiety, which increases your detective behavior, which increases your child's sense of betrayal, which increases their secrecy, which increases your anxiety, which increases your detective behavior, which increases their secrecy, which increases... Number 7, making a public scene. When you have an ugly, tense exchange in front of the school or at the playground where their friends are, or with the teacher watching or classmates looking on, you're not only creating a really uncomfortable, messy, emotional situation for your child just because they don't want to see that, but you're also giving your kids a sucker punch right in the social department. You know, this is embarrassing for kids. And they don't know how to explain it when kids come up and ask. They don't know what to say. It's just emotionally damaging. Don't make a public spectacle. Don't argue in front of the kids, most certainly, but don't do it in front of other people. All right, now for the good stuff. These are the things that'll help your child feel secure and help them gracefully navigate the transition between the two homes. So first, treat the handoff like a business transaction. Just a simple nod or a hi to your co-parent is often enough to be a good enough exchange, right? Keep the focus on the child. It signals that you are a team. It signals that you two, your child's two favorite people, are working together. You don't have to be friends. It just makes the exchange feel boring and safe, and that's exactly what your kids want. Second, get in and get out. Keep the conversation short and sweet. Something like, hey, have a great weekend at Mom's, I love you. Or here is Sarah's backpack, the field trip form is inside. Avoid negative facial expressions, negative tone of voice, anything that you know is irritating to your co-parent. Don't do it. Less talk, less conflict. Number 3, be prepared. Pack your child's backpack or bags with everything they need to return to the other home. Their clothes, their medication, their homework. It shows respect for everyone's time, and it keeps things calm. Number 4, create a routine. A quick hug or a simple see you later. It can make the transition predictable. It creates a pivotal point where your child knows that they can go. They don't have to hesitate or stall or wait for a final I love you. They just know they can go. It's like a little mental switch for your child. It gives them the go-ahead to transition from one home to the other home. You know, it's like you're supporting and encouraging them to love their other parent, and that's really important to kids. Number 5, give your child permission to be happy. Tell them that you love when they are excited to see mom or dad, and that you really want them to spend time with their other parent. Encourage it. Say things like, have fun at dad's house. I know you guys are going to have a blast when you go to the park. I look forward to hearing about all the fun things you're going to do. That gives them the green light to enjoy their time without feeling guilty. Guilt is a nasty beast. Number 6, communicate responsibly. What do I mean by that? Well, you know your ex probably better than anybody else does, and you know how to hurt them. And you know what makes them angry. You know what buttons to push. So be responsible with that information. Don't poke what doesn't need to be poked. And if you really cannot control the urge to poke, sometimes it is nearly impossible, then don't communicate with them at all. Use a co-parenting app or email or text messaging and only communicate essential information. Avoid all of that non-essential drama communication crap. No emotional baggage, just the facts. That keeps toxic conflict far away from the kids where it belongs. Last, be on time. Seriously, just be on time. It shows respect for your co-parent. It shows respect for their schedule. It shows respect for your child. And it stops your child from worrying or feeling anxious about the handoff. It should be a calm experience. If your child has anxiety, whether it's due to the exchange or something else, it can taint that whole transition time, making the time with their other parent much more difficult to sort of fall into. So if you're willing to avoid the bad stuff, and willing to embrace all that good stuff, you can turn a really stressful event into a predictable, supportive routine for your kids. Your actions really matter. Your actions are what give your child the security to love both parents and to look forward to that transition from one home to the other home.